Give me a minute and I'll give you an update on the Kherson front. Today, the Ukrainian MOD asked for a full media blackout regarding Kherson. So I won't talk about Kherson again until after the Ukrainians lift that requested blackout. And the only thing I'm going to say today is what's publicly available, what we know about before the Ukrainian MOD asked for the blackout. We know that the Ukrainians appear to have established 5 bridgeheads like this one here at Krypki. You can see the one down there at Poima and Prishchinivka. There is now another one just north here around the Novokakhovka Dam. And then 2 more south of Poima at the Antonovsky Bridge crossing, which was the first one outside of Oleshki. And then a new one south of there at Holopristan. To the best of my understanding, there are about 300 Marines on this side of the river with about 3 anti-aircraft guns or air defense systems. An additional handful of ISVs, maybe a half a dozen, maybe more, it's not clear, and some other specialty equipment, trucks, Humvees, etc. To date, the Russians have failed to push the Ukrainians out. Just yesterday, we got word that the TOS-1A, the thermobaric device that had been used to hit the Ukrainian Marines here, had been taken from the battlefield. It's been destroyed by the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians also have led massive drone attacks against the infantry and vehicles, electronic warfare equipment in the area. And yesterday we saw the destruction of the Groza electronic warfare device or mobile station. And that was, according to the Russian telegram channels, the last piece of electronic warfare equipment the Russians had in the area. If that is true, their ability to jam drones has been dramatically limited now, if not being non-existent, which means the Ukrainians control the skies. We don't know what the next steps are. We don't know if they're going to attempt the very tricky business of establishing pontoon bridges for the transfer of large-scale men and equipment, or if they're going to keep building at the current rate. It does appear that one of their first goals has been met. The Russians have been pushed back 3 to 6 kilometers from the water's edge. When we take into account that at many points along this river, the river itself is 3,000 meters, 3 kilometers. That means that Kherson City is now out of range of all of the Russian mortars. The mortars can no longer threaten civilians in the city. They're not out of the range of artillery yet. Artillery can still hit the city. But the Ukrainians continue to push them back, continue to push back and increase the size of that buffer zone. And I think what we're going to see next is well, of course, I don't know. But in all likelihood, we'll see a consolidation of these positions and then a push to eliminate artillery and secure the city of Kherson from the endless shelling that the civilians there have been faced with. It's just outrageous. And from there, nobody knows. But right now, it appears that the Ukrainians have been successful in pushing the Russians back and at the very least, securing the river and the city of Kherson from Russian mortar fire. Thank you, my friends.